Hello, beautiful Pisces souls, and welcome to your July 2025 tarot forecast. This is your psychic advisor, Micah, and I am here to offer you some clarity and guidance on your journey throughout the month of July. So kick back, relax, grab a beverage, grab a drink, drink something, get hydrated. And we're going to talk about what I see going on in the month of July. So the month of July already, I'm seeing this like King of Pentacles reverse type of figure, which is like some Taurus that you might be like involved with, who has like low self-esteem. I would guess like get away from them. That would be my advice. All right, thank you. But the month of July is ruled by the sign of Cancer. Not in the don't let a July Leo hear you say that, but that's what I believe, especially initially at the beginning of the month. So you can see that in this month you'll have a huge focus on like nurturing people, taking care of people. Your connection to your mother and your connection to your children as a mother. The energy that you're walking away from is the Six of Wands, so it's like after a really brilliant victory last month. Congratulations, way to go. And like I said, you're dealing with this Taurus who has low self-esteem. Or like a Taurus or Earth sign person who sells plates, who's like trying to plates or sells food, is trying to like tear down your self-esteem. And then I see that your biggest priority should be focusing on yourself, and kind of like cleaning up after yourself, making sure you're not spilling things, even like spilling the tea or whatever, because we have this like, we have the Page of Cups reversed, but then it's also the Ace of Cups reversed as well in the center of the reading. So it's like there is a gigantic, like to me, it's like a double big gulp cup or something from 7-Eleven, like a huge cup, like a cup that's like comically large for this yourself or this page to be holding, which once again makes me think of like Flavor Flav and like a pimp chalice or something. He's been like on my mind, and like all these like this like literally not even Tarot Bay anymore. We're Flavor Flav Bay, and that's what we're talking about. Um, so yeah, so it's like you holding this like comically large cup. You could be spilling it, knocking it over, throwing it at somebody. It could be like a comedy thing, like a gigantic wine glass. But it's like your biggest priority should be like you, this gigantic cup of water or pimp chalice or whatever it is. And then, or maybe someone stole a cup from you. Where we have the Eight of Swords coming up, and like, the gym. So like one of your cousins or someone stole something from you, and they have a lot of anxiety about it. Yeah. And then I guess like something about this like cup or something, a lot of people feel like has caused like misfortune in their lives. So I don't know if it's like you work at Starbucks or you do ceramics or something like that. Like you do ceramics, like you're selling some type of cup. And people are saying like it's causing like a lot of chaos in their life. So, you might have given someone like a Pisces mug or something, and like ever since then they've had like a lot of misfortune. You may have like, I literally have been trying to say this in all of my videos, but I don't know what it's called. When you like spin or cast plates or cups or ceramics, I guess, but not ceramics, right? Is that ceramics? Sure. Like your ceramics wheel might have broken. You might be making these like ceramic cups or bowls, but maybe they're not like food safe or treated properly. I did watch this YouTube video about someone who's like turning like stones, like rocks that he finds into bowls. So maybe if you're doing something close or similar, just make sure that you're like using the right type of sealant. Maybe you're eating off of rocks. I don't know. This is July. You could be like camping or something. You never know. Anyway, so you could be a rock eater from the never ending story. You're eating off of rocks, whatever it is. There's like poison inside this cup, or the cup is poison. Um, and then your obstacle is throughout this month of July is the Four of Swords reversed. So it's like maybe like sleeping too much. Like I think there's like this old SNL sketch where it's like God says that you pray too much. So maybe it's like you're praying a little bit too much or praying too hard on a Leo, or praying too much for fame and acclaim, when it's like fame and acclaim for what? Empty cups, you know what I mean? So like I don't know, like I mean, I think you could become famous for, if you became like a hoarder, or like world Guinness collection of who has the most cups or something like that. But what this is saying, it's like you're praying to be like famous or to be very well known, but there isn't really any substance there. So it's like, you could be really bad at singing or dancing, and then but you never know. You could become famous for dancing badly. You could become famous for singing badly. Like what is it? It's like Suzanne Boyle from American Idol. Like she became very famous for looking badly. William Hung and a couple other people. They were such bad singers on American Idol that it became like they were able to accrue some type of fame. So this is saying, I mean, also like on things like Kick and whatever, and like live streaming channels, they do have channels with people who are just sleeping. So if all you do is sleep, you could become famous for sleeping. Who knows, especially for Pisces, like you could set the Guinness World Record for having slept the longest or laid in bed the longest. And then what is supposed to help you overcome these obstacles? So I don't know, maybe becoming famous for sleeping very long, and this fame and this attention that you have garnered from sleeping in a bed, from sleeping on the floor, from whatever it is. Uh, the way that you get over that is starting a journey of sobriety. It's like the Temperance card reversed. So it's like admitting to yourself that you have an issue with substances. Also, the Four of Swords is like sleeping on the couch too. So, maybe there's something going on in your life due to excessive like drinking or drugging, where it's like you don't feel comfortable sleeping in your bed. Maybe the bed sheets conjure bad memories. Maybe the room itself conjures bad memories for whatever reason. Um, and the Four of Swords also, so it's like praying too much for fame but not having any talent, and then also it's like sleeping on the couch or sleeping on other people's couches. So maybe you become very famous for like maybe you sleep on a couch very well. You become very famous for sleeping on couches, like that guy from BoJack, the not BoJack Horseman from BoJack Horseman, like his little friend or whatever, like sleeps on his couch. Like maybe there's someone you can become famous for that, Pisces, and or how well you do that. I always look at. I mean, this is the Leo positioning. I always look at Leo as being like the world's greatest couch surfers. Um, so you could be writing about a Leo. You could be working about a Leo. Leo could be working on some book like couch surfing, how to do it 101. And then we have um like I said, the Temperance card. So like I guess if you are couch surfing on people's couches, it'd probably be helpful to say like I'm working on my health, I'm working on my sobriety, I ain't drinking no more. I'm not drinking. I mean that's the thing too, because they do have like those like fishbowl cocktails. So it's like I don't know, maybe you got like too drunk at a party or a birthday party, you knocked over a fishbowl cocktail, and now it's like a broken glass or some type of like really pristine dish somewhere, and it's like I'm sorry, I won't be drinking anymore. I won't bring over any latte purses or like comically large drinks anymore. And then what you're attracting throughout this month. So there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of like anxiety, negative affirmation. What do you call it? Self-deprecating humor that you're going through, Pisces. and it is summoning the Seven of Cups reverse. So you could be lying to somebody, like they could be asking you about something. You could continuously tell them that you don't know, I don't know, blah blah blah, but like you actually do know. So I think it would be smarter to be like almost like I said, like, or like I typically say, like autistically honest and truthful, so that you don't end up manifesting bad things for yourself. Like someone might be asking like how well your business is doing, or just how you're doing in general, and you're like trying to commiserate or meet them halfway and tell them that you're depressed and you're doing awful and all these things, and you're like, no, I'm actually doing great, until it manifests from trying to lower yourself to this earth signs energy, this person who's with low self-esteem. And the way that you get over that is mitigating or managing how you dilute your body with substances. You're attracting. So then also the Seven of Cups reverse is sort of does talk about um, dispelling illusions and ending confusion. Um, which I guess I don't know, it's like a Twitter thing where I was like thinking to myself, I was like, how come nobody ever asked? Like, I was like, all these like closet gay people that I do readings for who make up relationships to try to perform their relationship for as many people as possible to, bury the hatchet of them being gay or have ever participated in gay acts or whatever. Like, how come they just don't ask me like how to come out the closet and be happy with themselves? But the Seven of Cups does talk about like Cancer energy, and like we've got Seven of Cups here, Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Queen of Cups, reversed, everything reversed. So I guess like the answer to that question would be like stop drinking. Also, it's saying that some Cancer person might ask you that, or I mean, it might be your mother, you know what I mean? Like, how did you come out of the closet? Like, how did you get this self esteem? Or, like, because also, like, they never talk about this. So, or not they never talk about this, but very rarely in people's coming out stories that you might watch on YouTube or RuPaul's Drag Race, it's always like, single mother, single father. These are the only options for families. So, single mother, single father, mother and father, or two, I guess some people have two mothers, two fathers, but you don't hear about their children and their coming out stories too often. But you got some type of parent in the home to which this child is coming out to, but most likely that mother or father has never had to come out to anybody about anything. So where did they really get the strength to do that from? Like, who's inspiring them to come out and to be strong? Whether if it's about their sexuality, their finances, their political ideas, whatever it is, like, it doesn't even have to be like being coming out about being gay. It could be like, you could be like against abortion. You could be like for abortion, anything like that. And that might be very different than what your family feels. And it's like, well, how do you come out or go against your family? Um, in a sense that, like, you might not even be financially bound to them, but naturally you're emotionally bound to them because their opinion means the most to you. They're your family, you love them, all those things. So, that is what I see going on in July. And, it could be something like, someone has certain political views because it hides whatever secrets that they have going on in their own life. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're in Nazi Germany and somebody's like saying things that allude to Jewish culture, like certain foods or activities or whatever, or political ideas, and you're just like, no, I hate that. That's dumb. It's stupid. I'm totally against, Act 45 or whatever bill they're trying to pass. But it's only because they're trying to suppress a secret that they're hiding. If that makes sense. Hopefully, it's not Nazi Germany, but with the current president and how media is, it seems a lot like they won, and we've literally just been marching under a different, just a bunch of Nazis marching under a different flag, still wearing Hugo Boss and Adidas, but yeah. So, which I see that what Pisces wants though is the Five of Swords. So there's been maybe a lot of people who are like winning against you by lying. Like a lot of people saying they went to certain colleges, or that they went on certain vacations, or that they're friends with certain people, and it's a bunch of lies, a big pack of lies. And I think Pisces like wants to buy their own big pack of lies and just like start crushing people with dishonesty. As Pisces, like I said, has been like very autistically honest, and it's like, oh damn, like everyone else has been lying, I'm gonna start lying too. And then it's a philosophy that you might be adopting from a Sagittarius who perhaps has like a lot of abandonment issues and is like super itchy and can't sleep at nights. You might also get an opportunity to further your education, travel from like an Aries or a Sagittarius. And I see that your career, so if you've been feeling like muddy waters, like not knowing exactly like where your career is going to go, it might actually, because the thing about the music industry is that it kind of like faded away when it came to album sales because it was like, well, how many physical copies of a CD can you sell inside of a Sam Goodies, where then it became like how many individual songs or albums can you sell for 199 or 699 on a on Apple Music, and now it's more so like how what is the thing. So as technology changes, just like you see with like the app Uber versus taking a cab company, technology changes how the economy works and how lucrative certain industries are. So for whatever reason, like even like Instagram started out as an app that was just solely for sharing pictures and photos, which a lot of people weren't really into. There's a lot of times in my life I'm like, oh man, like I really wish I'd have taken photos at this event or taken photos of this or that, and I'm like, it wasn't like not socially acceptable or that I care about being socially acceptable, but it just wasn't like something that people did in the past. Even when I was a little kid, we would always stop to take pictures. We'd be at the playground somewhere or something, and I'm like, who is this for? Like, who is going to see these pictures? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is this for? And now it's like, oh, like taking pictures and sharing photos like a really, really big thing in society, which it was in the past, but like there's even like episodes of The Simpsons where Patty and Selma have come to show all their relatives their travel pictures from I think like Mexico or something, and it's like the worst thing in the world, like you would want to sit through. And now it's like one of the biggest entertainment industries like Facebook and Instagram, like people showing off their travel photos and pictures of their pets or whatever. Where it's like in 1995, if someone was like, "Oh, I have 106 photos that I took in Ireland. Do you want to look at them?" You'd be like, "Jesus Christ, no." Like please put on professional wrestling or anything, or Dilbert or Drew Carey show, anything else. Uh, Okay, and then so your vibrate. So this is like your whole thing. Like your whole thing in July seems like you're in a place that's like really cold, which could just be like the air conditioning if you're somewhere where it is summertime in July. And it's so funny. Like I mean, because it's obviously not done on purpose. Like nothing I can possibly do can be on purpose. But like in the Capricorn videos and the Cancer videos, I'm always talking about the difference in like the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Like, is it winter this month or is it summer this month? So I think that's really interesting. But I see that it might be wherever you are in the world, Pisces, in the month of July. I see that you or your friends will be feeling very cold, like so cold that they can't sleep. So bundle up. But it's also like it is like bundle up like the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Like make sure that you are staying warm during the day. Make sure that you're staying warm during the night. Because this is so far out in the future. I'm like, what's going on? This could be from the war that like may or may not happen. Or you might end up in Alaska or Antarctica. I think the drag queen Alaska's name, or I think the drag queen whose name is Alaska, actually is a Pisces too. So you never know. Like You could get a deal, like as corny as it sounds, like from your name being Alaska, like you could get a deal doing, I don't know, like some type of commerce or public relations for the state of Alaska, which then makes you live there, and that has trials and tribulations. But also consider you have a very cold vibration, and that's why you are attracting the Seven of Cups reverse. So people might be trying to emotionally manipulate you, but because you're cold, it helps you see through whatever illusions or deceptions that they're trying to deceive you with. Whatever deceptions they were trying to deceive you with. And then I see secretly on your own time, Pisces, in your 12th house, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which so interesting that we're talking about so interesting that we, meaning myself, are talking about Nazi Germany, because um, earlier today I was watching someone else's tarot video about the Hierophant, and they were saying how like some people have weird feelings about the Hierophant because it has a lot of Catholic, like it's very Catholic coded. And me myself, I was like, that's so interesting because like randomly different cards have been having like different like having like speaking about different religions to me. And the Hierophant is like Catholicism. So if I'm doing like a spread and I'm looking for advice on something, I'm like, okay, the Hierophant, talk to a wise counselor, talk to a therapist, talk to a priest, look up to God, ask Joan Rivers, ask Joan of Arc. But also, it's like do a Catholic prayer. And then a lot of the times when I see in like the obstacle or advice position for a spread, and I see the strength card, I'm always like, oh, do yoga. Like you gotta do yoga, you know. But I think that it's more about using like the Vedas or Hinduism. So like you're having an issue with your marriage, perhaps talking to a Catholic priest and his opinion on what your relationship is and should be may not be what your relationship needs, and maybe you need to in person or on YouTube talk to like some type of some type of like Hindu shaman or something. Like maybe his advice is what is the healing that your relationship needs. And then I've been seeing the eight of specifically just the Eight of Pentacles, which is usually working on your resume and cover letters and reflecting on your body of work. But I've also been seeing that as Judaism, or like him being so it's like such a stretch. Like him being a cobbler, like someone who's working on shoes, but then also it's somebody who's studying the Kabbalah and like how shoes are connected to Pisces and the feet and all these things, which I'm like, that's a stretch, like that's a grasp, but it's what I see. But also working on recording, so like I'm a Pisces and I am secretly in my 12th house alone, making recordings. So there in July, there could be a lot of like not skepticism, but like speculation as to what you're doing, and then it's like I'm just sitting here recording things about the Kabbalah and Judaism. Um, and then all my other spiritual things, I guess like really quickly, I've been seeing the Three of Wands talk about wedge politics and issues going on in Gaza. Um, but not necessarily. Well, I guess like it's sort of like okay, so I don't know. Like I'm not any type of biblical historian or anything, but the Three of Wands, it'll be like expanding your horizons, expanding your perspective on life and business or whatever that you're asking about, love. But then it also gives me this image of like Moses leaving Egypt in the book of Exodus to Jerusalem, like the promised land. So to me, I don't know, like if I was someone who tracks the study of, uh, you know, nomadic peoples and whatever that is, I would say the Palestinians, or the people who identify as Palestinian, are the people who like that land belongs to, I guess. But then also, I don't really feel like there's much distinction. Like, God has been telling me there's very little difference between moths and butterflies. So it's just like they're supposed to be there together, and it's the Three of Wands too. So the Three of Wands does definitely feel like it's not the Three of Pentacles, like people working well together. But maybe it's like people surviving together. So it's like, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam coming together to guide the people to the promised land. Three of Wands. Um, and I think that, well, and then the Hangman has been talking to me about like Norse mythology and runes, which is a little bit different than the other stuff. But that's kind of like what's been coming through as far as like spirituality and religion and the tarot, which might be something that, you know, uh, you Pisces might be curious about. Okay, so thank you for listening and watching. This is, what I see happening coming up for Pisces in July 2025. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and finding one of your favorite Pisces friends to share this video with. And if you would like your own tarot forecast on what you can expect to happen for you in July or for 2025, or just in general, love, money, finances, you want to do a reading on some guy named Walter, just let me know, and you could book that on my website, which is in the description somewhere. Alrighty, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.